Drugs. See your girl in the park.
This is Sean O'Malley, and you're watching Full-Time MMA. Don't be a bagel biting, bagel bitch boy, bagel bitch back.
What's going on, Full-Time family? It's time to start the show. Let's make sure we got everything going. Sounds on, check. All right, we're good. Let's pull up the chat. What's going on, everybody? It's a big day. Today is UFC 229 second press conference. That's going down at 6 p.m. Eastern. This is just a stream talking about the news, but I was going to do this last night at like 3 a.m., but I was fucking tired from work, so I said saving it for the morning. But I also got some errands to run after this stream, so this is going to probably be about an hour and a half. Then we'll shut it down for a little bit, and we're going back live for the press conference. What's going on, Weezin336? Jack Jones in the building says #NerdBash2018. Michael Marney says we're nearly there. Whoosh, can't wait for these fights, but what a co-main and main. That's what I'm saying, man. We got what a card. I mean, it's going to be a great night of fights. We're going to look at that, but also salute to Cam Murphy in the building, Webb's PK Vids. I'm so hyped. What up, Full-Time family? Just watching marathon of fan promos on Conor vs. Khabib. But yeah, that sounds dope, man. I've been watching the embeddeds. I watched the first one at work. I've still got to watch the other two that are out. But yo, one thing I'll say real quick on the embeddeds, have y'all seen how fucking much views? Like 2 million views and shit, like 1 million views. Like Dana White said that the fight was trending at like 3 million buys. That sounds a little crazy. That's crazy, right? 3 million is crazy, and that sounds crazy, but it sounds higher. I can't recall their embedded series ever doing this well, aside from the fucking Dolly attack video. But all of these embeddeds have been popular as fuck, so I wouldn't be surprised if this card fucks around and does better than McGregor Diaz. I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. Speaking of, yo, we're going to talk about this whole UFC 230 main event debacle. And first, I got a question for everybody. What's your favorite Ninja Turtle? I like Michelangelo. Yo, I knew I fucking love Tony Ferguson. What are you talking about? Maybe it's because I know a lot of people don't like Tony Ferguson for multiple reasons. Maybe you're a McGregor fan and you're like, "Fook Tony Ferguson." Maybe you're a Khabib fan and you're like, "What the fuck is going on here?" But for me, unbiased, I like all these motherfuckers. And I kind of embrace the weirdos for one thing. Maybe that's why, like, Conor McGregor's media, the Mac Life, someone told me about this on the stream yesterday, but they titled the Tony Ferguson media scrum, "Tony Ferguson Talks Madness for 20 minutes straight." I was like, no, why are they doing like that? I fucks with Tony Ferguson, man. It's kind of like slang almost. Like, if you can decipher through what Tony Ferguson's saying, he's trying to say some real shit. But they don't come in here and say some shit like, "This is a rat race, and I'm no rat. I'm a turtle, a ninja turtle. What's your favorite?" I like Michelangelo. Next question. Like, my nigga, whoa. Like, whoa. This is what it reminds me of. I'll tell you guys this story real quick before we start the show. So, I got a brother, right? Me and my brother and two cousins. We were like the four brothers growing up, right? I don't know if y'all seen that movie, but it's four boys. We all came up together. But my youngest cousin, he just passed away recently. Some of you guys know that if you've been rocking with the channel for a while. He was the youngest one, and he reminds me so much of Tony Ferguson in every fucking way. For one, he was a complete badass, but for two, he was a little cringy / crazy. I'm serious. And for three, he was Mexican-American. Half white, half Mexican, my fucking cousin. He reminds me so much of Tony Ferguson, man, in so many ways. Maybe that's why I can kind of decipher through what Tony Ferguson's saying. But I'm a fan of Tony Ferguson, and if you guys want to be technical, we could argue and say that Tony Ferguson should be the undisputed champion. Now, you can say, okay, he doesn't have a claim. Some people will say, no, Conor McGregor should be the champion. He never lost the belt. And some people will say, well, Khabib's got the belt. But if you can 100%, no matter how biased you are, you can argue that Tony Ferguson at least has more of a claim to the title than Khabib. If you're talking about who they fought to get the title, you know, because people said Tony Ferguson, he's not the legit interim champion. He's nobody. He beat Kevin Lee, who was ranked number 6. Well, Khabib beat Ali Quinta, who was ranked like number 10. So Tony Ferguson, you could for sure argue, and whenever Tony Ferguson got stripped, he got stripped at the same time as McGregor, who had been out for way longer. Tony Ferguson's making his return on October 6th. I believe his injury happened like October 7th of last year, so it's like right before a year. He wasn't out a full year. Now, I'm not saying I'm not saying I don't agree with what happened, because I do like where we're at right now, but I'm just saying, if you want to be technical, Tony Ferguson, whenever Conor McGregor got stripped, Tony Ferguson would have got promoted. And then Khabib and Iaquinta would have been fighting for an interim title. But Tony Ferguson got stripped because of that injury, so that's how stuff played out. But he's still on an 11-fight fucking win streak, 10-fight winning streak. He still did beat Kevin Lee. He still has wins over RDA, Edson Barboza. He still beat a whole lot of fucking guys, and he's very talented. So as much as the cringe is back, so is Tony Ferguson. So I think that's just El Cucuy, man. I'm starting... It's growing on me. Some people might never get used to the Tony Ferguson media. It's growing on me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm low-key getting excited. Like, I'm rooting for Tony Ferguson. Like, man, come back and take what's yours, dog. Fuck that. Don't Anthony Pettis come up and try and capitalize on your motherfucker. You know, I'm rooting for Tony Ferguson, low-key. You know what I'm saying? But yo, that shit. Tony Ferguson's media scrum was epic. But what was even more epic? Conor McGregor's open workouts, but what was even more epic? Khabib's open workouts. Oh shit, son. Shit, son. Conor came out hot, but I didn't expect Khabib to come out to the roar boost. Oh, we're gonna break it down full-time, family. Holy shit. Khabib was on fire. I think Khabib won the press conferences. Not the press conference, the open workouts. If Khabib says the shit that he said last night at the open workouts, if you ain't seen Khabib's open workout, boy, you missed out. If he says that shit at the press conference, because that's one thing that he said at the first press conference that started to get under Conor's skin. He was like, what do you mean talking about, you know, Conor was talking about Dagestani or Chechnya on some shit like that, you know, it was getting like political and shit. And he was like, what are you talking about, man? You're Irish. You're not even speaking your natural tongue. You're fucking speaking English. That kind of got, that might be one of the times I really saw Conor rattled. Like, Conor had, that threw Conor off guard. That threw him off his mark for a second. When Khabib said, you're English. You're speaking English, dog. The Irish got conquered, some shit like that. I don't know the history. I'm just saying what Khabib was, you know, that threw him off guard. And at the open workouts at the end, man, let's talk about McGregor's first, because that's what happened first. But we're going to talk about Khabib's. I'm really looking forward to this press conference. And it's partly because of these open workouts. First, Conor came out on fire. He came out, you know, working out. He was looking good, showing his sprawls and shit like that, just showing everything, crazy fucking kicks, you know, Bruce Lee type shit. Like, he was looking good, looking real flashy. Honestly, you ain't gonna be doing that shit against Khabib. You know what I'm saying? Now, the sprawls, you're gonna need that. But I'm saying, like, the jumping fucking Bruce Lee spinning kicks, okay, that's flashy. It looks amazing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's for the, I guess, for the fans. It looked good, but that ain't got shit to do with Saturday. It ain't got shit to do with Khabib. You ain't hitting him with one of those. You ain't gonna be throwing one of those. But it did look good. Conor did look good. I'll admit that. So, with that being said, Conor McGregor, he walked out. He trained, and then he got on the mic. He was amped up. He like snatched the mic from Megan O'Leary. He was like, "Crowd on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Fook the Jamison brothers." And then the crowd said it, you know, Fook the Jamison brothers, a play off the Fook the Diaz brothers. Yo, I don't even know if I know about Jamison, but I don't even know if they're brothers. You know, I don't even know if there's Jamison brothers. But that shit sounded good. He had the whole proper 12. You know what I'm saying? And then he ended up ultimately even making a prediction. He predicted a vicious KO. He says he's too flat-footed. He's too easy to hit. I don't give a fuck about anything, any wrestling, any technique. I'm coming for that man's head. And then he said something about Dagestani rat. And I was like, oh, shit, okay, Conor lit it up. He lit it up. The crowd was hyped, you know. But then it was Khabib's turn. And I don't know what happened here, who was in control of the guest list. But it's like they only let fucking McGregor's fans in, dog. I don't know where Khabib's fans were, if they just weren't loud, if they didn't get let in because they didn't want to come in without the strap. I don't know where Khabib's fans were, because the crowd was all for Conor. And when Khabib came out, boo, boo. I was thinking, damn, I cannot think of a time Khabib has ever just been openly booed like this. I personally, like, You know, when he fought Michael Johnson, Edson Barboza, like, he's usually, at least, people love Khabib. But this is a first. This is something that also might, you know, throw Khabib off. Now, it's not going to during the fight unless there's a lot of boos there, but I've never seen Khabib booed this much is what I'm saying. So, he was stretching. He started stretching, warming up, and just boo. You're starting to hear shit from the crowd. They're taunting Khabib. You know, they're heckling Khabib. Khabib's just fucking slamming his partner around like a rag doll, showing potential ground and pound with elbow, switching it into a fucking arm bar, just showing how much of a beast he is on the ground and how much that's really where McGregor not throwing them motherfucking crazy Bruce Lee kicks. But down here, this is where I motherfucking do all my shit. Khabib was looking great on the ground. Crowd didn't care. The crowd didn't care. The more they saw, the more they booed. I shit on bus. Connor's gonna get you. After a few more takedowns and a few more transitions, Khabib called for the microphone. Like, all right, let's talk to these motherfuckers. I'm telling you, he was slamming shit, fucking power bombing shit, and nothing he could do. The fans were just on his head. I shit on bus. I heard that. I was like, oh Lord. Oh Lord. Khabib got the microphone. I didn't know how he was gonna handle it, you know, because it's not like Khabib's like known for his fucking microphone generalship. Like, how's he gonna control this fucking, you know, hectic ass crowd? And boy, he didn't fuck around. So he got the microphone and he was like, "Salam alaikum, brothers." You know, they're already booing him, so he hit him with the salam alaikum, and he was like, 3 days, you're gonna like me. I have a question. What about Irish language? What's wrong with your language? You guys fight with England? Hold on, I got the rest. He said, you guys like fight with England? And then something, he said, I don't know why I didn't write the fucking rest down, man. I thought I did. Oh yeah, he said, you guys fight with England? You guys change your language? Conor's grandfather worked with the English Navy, killed your people. I'm gonna pay him back for you. I was like, oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit, son! Like, I was like, oh, damn! Khabib did his research. Oh, as soon as that fucking press conference was over, he said, motherfucker, I got Google too. He went back. He probably threw out a couple, hey, $1,000 for information on this motherfucker. Man, he came too prepared. Fuck that. Khabib, boop, 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 Google, bing, boop, boop, boop. I'm just saying. I was like, when Khabib said that shit, I didn't know that. He said, Conor's grandfather worked with English Navy, killed your people. I'm going to pay him back for you. I said, oh, I'm going to pay him back for you. That was one of the coldest lines ever. Motherfucker, they didn't even know what hit him in the crowd. They're booing Khabib, and he's like, I'm on your side, motherfuckers. Watch this. Oh, Khabib was fucking... Oh, I did not expect it, son. I'm ready. If he drops that shit at the press conference, bro, because like I said, that's the thing that I really felt like got Khabib or Conor McGregor. If there's anything that got Conor McGregor at the first press conference, it was probably when he said something about, you know, your Irish language. That's what I felt like. So that shit was crazy. And then Khabib like dropped the mic and walked off. I said, God damn. But let's pull out the chat, see what you guys had to think about that press conference. Now, Tony Ferguson, he did open workouts too, but he really had a media scrum where he was on fire. But let's scroll the chat all the way down. Stem says, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. Cam Murphy, he didn't kill his own people for fuck's sake, says Cam Murphy. I don't know. I don't know if he did or not. I don't think he did. But it sounded good. It sounded fucking good. And I don't know, can we fact check that? We need somebody like, who's these motherfuckers doing research on Conor McGregor and or on Khabib and his Russian ties, and who these motherfuckers doing research on Ali Abdelaziz? We need to know about this shit. I want some good fan fiction at least. Even if you can't find that this shit is true, tell us it's fake and make up a good ass story for this fight. Do me that favor. Throw that shit in the promo. I want to hear all about that shit. That shit sounded crazy, yo. Y'all know I'm a McGregor fan too, but I felt like Khabib won at that moment right there. I felt like the fans didn't even know what hit him. Now, that shit might not be true. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. I don't know. You think Khabib? I don't know. It didn't sound like he just made some shit up. It didn't sound like Khabib was making no shit up. You know what I'm saying? But it was crazy. And he also said that, and before that, I still like what he said too, where he was like, 3 days, 3 days, you're gonna like me. I was like, oh shit, that was kind of, you know, like if you're rooting for McGregor, that was kind of like scary, like, oh shit, Khabib's not fucking around. Like 3 days, like all these McGregor hate, all these people hating us, I shit on bus. They're all gonna have to respect him if he comes out and mauls McGregor like he wants to. Oh shit, guys, we're like 2 days away. Are you kidding me? You motherfucking kidding me? But Google ITB says Dutch style black clouds. Weezing 336 says, I don't think Khabib would just say that if it weren't true. I don't know if he would either. If you think, if you automatically think it's true, your critical thinking skills suck. Yeah, I didn't automatically think it's true, but motherfucking what a show. What a show. I didn't expect Khabib, man, what do you think, he got like a ghostwriter? He just made that shit. You think Khabib, somebody might have made it up until, I think Khabib believed it, right? Now, it might not be true, but somebody convinced Khabib that shit was true. Right? like maybe Khabib, like, hey, $1,000 to anybody that gets me some good shit on McGregor, right? And like maybe one of his training partners was broke. Maybe they got like a gambling habit. They bet on Till. I don't know. I'm just saying, right? So they needed $1,000, and so they're like, well, this shit sounds good. I don't know. Maybe somebody just lied to Khabib, but I'm just saying it sounded good. Moise Audio says Ali Abdelaziz. You think maybe Ali? You think Ali? Maybe Ali. I don't. That's funny. You think Ali told him? I'm him. Says, well, today's the press conference. Mental warfare will be there. Well, shit. If it's not true, McGregor will answer that shit at the press conference today. Like, what the fuck were you talking about? My grandfather sat on the couch. He was a plumber and he watched football. He wasn't in the Navy. He didn't work with the English. I don't know. Hey, that was pretty good for my first McGregor accent. Jabba the Hutt says he probably has a team of people looking into McGregor's past. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that does sound like some crazy shit, right? That does sound like some crazy shit, bro. Like, that sounds like some shit you would do in some warfare. Like, recruit somebody from the other squad, right? And fucking... And then... but, man, that would be crazy, dog. If that's true, man, I don't know how McGregor comes... I hope it's not... I hope that's a lie. I hope somebody lied to Khabib, because that does not look good for McGregor. If that was true, that wouldn't be looking good, you know, for the loyalty side. Because McGregor's really about loyalty, it seems like. His whole camp, his whole team, every coaches, like, he's loyal to the motherfucking soil. He takes pride in his fucking family history, right? And his father and the McGregor clan, you know, they were fucking fighters. They got pushed something. You know what I'm saying? PK Boxing MMA says fake story. Conor made a huge coke. Oh, that's a fake story. Holy shit. Oh, you're saying, like, what if he made a coke deal? Oh, yeah, that's probably I haven't heard anything about that, if that is a fake story. Well, I don't know if you're just speculating, but salute to PK Boxing and MMA in the building. Jorge One says, even so it could put Conor back on the back foot mentally. Yeah, right? Right? You want to talk about mental warfare, even if it's fake, that shit sounded great. I was going to say good, but great just rhymed. That was crazy. Will you stop, John, for fuck's sakes? He says, I also heard Conor really half Irish. I don't know. Oh, my Lord. So, John Doe's in here clowning now. All right, guys. So, and then, so that was the open workouts. Crazy, entertaining. Conor killed it, but Khabib came out through the booze, and I felt like he had some shit. Even if he didn't, even before that, when he said 3 days, 3 days, you're all gonna like me, I was like, oh, shit, son. Like, Khabib don't give a fuck about these boos. But Tony Ferguson, boy, he came out here, and according to the Mac Life, he spit mad. Tony Ferguson spits madness for 20 minutes straight. Conor McGregor's media crew really, like, takes after Conor. That sounds like a headline from Conor McGregor. I'm gonna pull it up. It's so funny. It is so funny. All right, YouTube, Mac Life. Should probably go to Mac Life first. Mac Life. Alright, where's Tony Ferguson? Watch this, you guys. Watch the title of this video. Where's it at? Tony Ferguson, where you at? Oh, I know they didn't take it down. Here it is, here it is. I don't want to play it though. You see the title? It says Tony Ferguson talks madness for 20 minutes. McGregor versus Khabib. Yo, that sounds like a headline wrote from Conor McGregor himself. Alright. But yeah, so Tony Ferguson, man. I was understanding what he was saying. Like, his shit is halfway cringe, halfway motivational. And I felt like you don't do yourself any favors when you attack the media. But maybe that's how he really feels or whatever. But he was like, you know, you guys holding the cameras need to turn the camera back around on yourself. You know? Some of you guys need to look at yourselves. You guys point the camera at me. I point them at you. You know? Like, and so, like, that's never gonna really help the cause, because those guys are the ones writing the articles and putting the headlines out and shit like that, right? So they're, I don't know, you know, usually having a good relationship with the media is a good thing. So in this whole 20-minute rant slash motivational speech slash Ninja Turtle questionnaire, he kind of attacked the media multiple times, and not like just attacked them like you guys are fucking pussies, but just question them, like, you know, making the media self-reflect a little bit and shit like that. But one of the best parts, and like I said earlier, I'm a fan of Tony Ferguson. This whole cringy shit, I fucking like the guy. A lot of people might not think I like the guy. I can kind of decipher it. My cousin was kind of just like him. Now, the difference between my cousin and Tony Ferguson, they're both Mexican. Like, I told you the similarities, but my cousin actually was, in the end, a little mentally out there. You know what I'm saying? He went to the mental home a couple times, back and forth at the end. I think it might have been from drugs or something. And I don't think that that's the case with Tony Ferguson, but I'm just saying, he reminds me of his ass. And my cousin would say some shit like this. This is a rat race. But I'm no rat. I'm a fucking turtle. Ninja Turtle. So which one is your favorite? I like Michelangelo. Next question. Now, with all that being said, Michelangelo was always my fucking favorite Ninja Turtle. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and act like, oh, Leonardo, bro. Fucking Raphael, badass, dude. I like Michelangelo, too. That's my guy. So, I gotta rock with Tony Ferguson on this one. I got a question for the chat. What's your favorite motherfucking Ninja Turtle? Forward says, oh my god, imagine a Tony versus Conor press conference. Oh my god. Oh my god. Conor would probably make Tony Ferguson fight him at the press conference with words. I know he can handle his shit, Tony Ferguson, but Conor, he would probably make people laugh harder than Kevin Hart at that press conference. Or your favorite comedian, Bill Burr, one of mine. Anybody. I'm just saying. Holy shit, Forward. Don't drop that on me right now. Don't drop that on me. Jabba the Hutt says Michelangelo is my favorite too. Let's go! Give it your name says Mike. He was the best by far. Let's motherfucking go! Dutch style Black Cloud says Raphael. Forward says Donatello. Angelo's a close second. Let's go. I knew I fucked with y'all full-time family. Y'all fucking... See, we got some fellow Michelangelo lovers in here. So you guys understand what Tony Ferguson's talking about. Given your name says Donatello was underrated. Michelangelo, I feel like, was underrated. But, you know, Donatello, too. You know, really, it's... Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Rafael Delgado says Coco, but... I wonder what Conor would say, says Ever79. Oh my gosh, dude. He would just be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? This guy's been spitting madness this whole time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just from the Mac Life headline. That was just someone from Conor McGregor's crew. Imagine that times 25. Oh, snaps. Now, Would it help him in the fight? I don't know. I mean, but the press conference, yo, Conor would probably win the fight before the fight. There would probably have to be a fight at, like, you might need more security for that than McGregor versus Khabib. I don't know. Kobe and Tony would quite literally talk madness. See what I did there? Forward says Ferguson versus Covington presser is what I said. Oh, you said Ferguson versus Covington? Oh, I thought you said Ferguson versus McGregor. Ferguson versus McGregor. Don't drop that on me. Covington and Ferguson, that would probably be a whole lot. That would probably be like a cringe fest. You know what I'm saying? Ferguson versus McGregor would be like a must-see. Can't even fathom a Ferguson versus McGregor press conference. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be crazy. Active fucking age, says Ever 79. But yeah, so the UFC 229 open workouts, man, fucking epic. Press conference, first press conference, epic. This fight card, epic. 2 days away, let's fucking go. But with that being said, for a second, let's transition to UFC 230 because, whew, some of you guys might have heard this analogy already, but it's like we're playing Wheel of Fortune, right? And I want to get that sound effect. You guys will know what I'm talking about. And Pat Sajak is the host. I was mixing him up with Alex Trebek, but I got to get this sound effect for you guys. Wheel of Fortune, bankrupt, whistle. We just need it, right? All right.
What is going on, guys?
No, that is not what the fuck I was looking for. All right. Well, you guys get the point, though. Wheel of Fortune. You got all these great prizes, right? All these fucking great prizes. You usually hear this, right?
What?
All right. You hear this sound. All right, shit. I got loud. You hear the sound, right? That's what played in my head as soon as they announced Shevchenko versus Eubanks. I had the puzzle solved, right? We all had the puzzle solved. We just knew it was going to be John Jones in the main event. We didn't know against who. And if it wasn't John Jones, we just knew it was going to be fucking epic. Something we couldn't wait to buy. UFC 230, main event of Madison Square Garden. It's where magic happens. Bisping versus St. Pierre. McGregor versus Alvarez. Champ. Shevchenko versus Eubanks. Pew! That's what happened. And, you know, with that being said, talking about the main event, you know, I'm not even talking about all the possibilities. Those are all, like on the Wheel of Fortune, right? It's all the prizes. All the prizes on the board were all the possibilities. Like, if I was better at fucking photoshopping and video editing, I would make this board. Like, you know that Mohammed Fujilat dude on YouTube? Like, somebody should just take this idea. I really don't care. But the Wheel of Fortune board, and you put like Covington versus DIAZ 165, Jones Gustafson, Jones Stipe, Jones Cormier, DIAZ Covington, fucking just all these possible main events for Madison Square Garden. And then the bankrupt is Eubanks Shevchenko. Just spin that motherfucker. Or just, oh shit, John Jones Gustafson, John Jones DC, oh shit, John Jones Stipe, Shevchenko Eubanks. That's all I'm saying. That's what we're left with. And there's a lot of people to put the blame on, right? There's a lot of people that you can blame for what's taking place. And who ultimately deserves the blame, we're not going to be able to know, right, as fans. But there's a lot of ways you can look at it. You can look at Joanna Jedrzejczyk a little bit, not too much, for being, because this is the thing about Joanna. She takes a little bit of blame, but what the UFC did here is a little unreasonable, even though they are the UFC and they got to do what they got to do as a business to save cards here and there. But a lot of in my opinion, a majority of the blame here, majority of the bullshit is coming from the UFC. And for one, Joanna signed the contract to fight Valentina, right? So, like, as far as saying Joanna's scared to fight Valentina in MMA, you can't say that because she had the signed bout agreement. And now, also you have to consider right now she's on a 2-fight losing streak. So if she wants proper time to prepare for this fight, because if you think about it, if Joanna loses this fight to Valentina, she's on now a 3-fight losing streak. Like, stock is dropping. She probably wants the proper time to prepare. And oh, by the way, she had a signed fucking contract, bout agreement. Like, right? That should mean something. And so when the UFC breaks apart 2 fights, right? Sijara Eubanks already had a fight. Sijara Eubanks was supposed to be fighting Jessica I. So they broke up that fight, which Jessica I kind of got screwed over there. Her contract got broke. But the UFC does sometimes, right? They'll incentivize the fighters. Like Jessica I, they might have gave her a discretionary bonus. Like, hey, here's $5,000. Sorry for the inconvenience. You know, so sometimes they do shit like that. But either way, they broke the contract there. Then a fight us fans were already fucking excited about. Joanna versus Valentina, co-main event, UFC 231. We all already wanted to see that fight. The UFC broke that contract. It wasn't like Joanna pulled out and then they rescheduled. No, the UFC said, no, we want to move you guys earlier. So Joanna signed for this date. She probably planned her training camp around that date, you know? And so I kind of see where Joanna's coming from there. So, but I can see it, you know, if you listen to Coach Hilton Harrison, CSH Combat Sports, he makes a lot of good points about how Joanna has some blame in this, because in the past, Joanna has said that she was willing to fight on short notice to save a card, and UFC title fights don't come overnight. There's no guarantee Joanna gets this opportunity again. She's trying to win a UFC title, right? Like, who turns down those opportunities? That's a lot of people don't get that chance in their entire life, right? So it's a huge opportunity for Joanna to not be ready to take. It's not like she's got to cut a lot of weight. If this was a 115-pound fight, I would get it. Harder to make weight on shorter notice. But she's moving up a weight division, so I don't think it would be too hard for Joanna to make the weight. But for some reason, Joanna just doesn't want to fight at Madison. And it's a bigger card, Madison Square Garden. So if Joanna was, Valentina's willing to, Valentina, man, she's just fucking waiting to fight. Valentina's, god damn, man, she's been having to wait this whole Nico situation. She fucking, it's hard for Valentina to get fights, man. I'm telling you that. Coach will tell you, he talks to Valentina's manager. A lot of these girls don't want to fight Valentina, and if you watch what she did to Priscilla Cachoeira, I mean, it's not too hard to imagine why. You got to be really game to want to take this fight. But let me say this to start this: there's a lot of ways. There's a lot of places to put blame. There's a lot of fucking places you can put blame. You can look at the UFC. Some people said, well, you know, Valentina Shevchenko, she, you know, could have opted to fight Joanna. Already got a contract. I want to fight Joanna. I want to fight the best fighter possible. Maybe you know what I'm saying? Maybe but she don't run shit, right? It's the UFC. If the UFC says, we want you guys at Madison Square Garden, this is a bigger card. We need a main event. We need to move your fight. And Valentina says, okay, I'll do it, whatever, boss. You know, it is what it is. I'm going to do what y'all need, Madison Square Garden. We say yes. And Joanna says no. Well, now we got to get a new opponent. Now, with that being said, all the places that you might look to place blame, one place there should be zero fucking blame, I'll tell you this, Sijara Eubanks, right? What is she supposed to do? Say no to this fight? Right? So, if there's one place there's no blame, I mean, you can look at Joanna, you can look at the UFC, some people are looking at Valentina, like, people are looking everywhere, like, oh, whose fault is it that we have this terrible main event? It's not Sija's, right? If the UFC calls you and says, hey, I know you got a fight scheduled, a contender fight against like the 9th ranked contender, right? Sijara Eubanks won the tough show. She already, and to be fair, she's on a 4-fight winning streak in the division, and she won the tough show. Now, you can say, well, Sijara missed weight in the previous fight, so why is she getting a title shot? That's the UFC. The UFC's been giving title shots to motherfuckers missing weight. Remember, this just happened? UFC 228, Darren Till? Remember, this just happened? A guy who you felt like, or a girl who you feel like don't deserve a title shot. And oh, by the way, you can argue that Sijara had a better claim to the title shot if we're not looking at missing weight, right? Because clearly the UFC will give title shots to people who miss weight. So take the missing weight out of the equation. We know that happens. Yoel Romero missed weight, title shot. Darren Till missed weight, title shot. Sijara Eubanks missed weight, title shot, right? So take that out of the equation. Sijara won the show, hospitalized, you know, because of the weight cut against Nico, so she couldn't fight Nico, but she did win the show to fight for the title. And oh, by the way, if she did make it to fight Nico Montano, she could have beat Nico Montano. and she probably would have been the champion if she would have made it to that fight. So she would be fighting Valentina anyway. So, so with all that being said, 4-fight winning streak in the division. More actual, if you watch the show, more fights in the division than any other girl when you look at it that way. But they're not all in the UFC. But what I'm saying is, Sijara Eubanks was about to be fighting the 9th ranked Jessica Eye, right? I wasn't even paying attention to the rankings of that fight, but that's kind of bullshit. Sijara Eubanks ranked number 4, beat Lauren Murphy in her actual UFC fight, won the show. Why was she even fighting? I mean, I know they had a little bit of a history on Twitter. They went at each other. You know, I think Jessica Eye called her a cum dumpster, and Sijara Eubanks was firing back. And I'll say this, Sijara Eubanks is not doing herself any favors replying to all these fans on Twitter. Not at all. I legit seen a fan on Twitter say, hey, Sarge, it's not your fault, but, you know, the UFC should not be doing this, putting you in this main event, because it's disrespectful to the fans. You know, it's not your fault, though. And she was like, your face is a shame. And he was like, I was like, he wasn't even attacking Sarge, right? So she's not doing herself a world of favors, you know. She's not in the wrong here. This is not her fault. She's in the main event, and she can't expect fans to say, oh my God, Sarge, we all love you. We all know you. We all want this as a main event. You know, like we were all expecting we were expecting big shit popping. Main event over Nate Diaz, Dustin Poirier. And so a lot of fans are pissed off at this main event, but a lot of these fans aren't even considering, hey, Diaz and Poirier is on this card. What if they just flip-flopped? If this was UFC 230 Diaz versus Poirier, none of you motherfuckers would be talking. If this was UFC 230 Diaz versus Poirier and Eubanks versus Shevchenko was right under it, none of you motherfuckers would even be crying. So, as long as Diaz and Poirier is still on the card, there's really no reason to be complaining at all. Because you still have a fight that's main event worthy. Is it for a title? No. But it's a great fight. There should be 5 rounds. Now, that's where another reason you can point and blame at the UFC. How the fuck wouldn't you guys... I mean, I kind of see where Dana White's coming from. Like, initially, we don't want to open up a division, you know, over fucking night just for this fight because we need a main event. Like, usually when you need a main event, you put together a title fight, an interim title fight, something. You don't open a new division. I get that. But we've had non-title fights be main events in the past. McGregor, there's been, I think it's happened 3 times, and Nate Diaz versus McGregor were 2 of them. Well, shit, this Diaz versus Poirier can for sure be a 5-round fight, at least. So if the UFC decided to put that in the main event, that could have happened. And shit, the UFC took apart 2 fights. 1 fight we were all looking forward to, Valentina Shevchenko versus Joanna, we all wanted to see. They took that fight away. Sijara Eubanks versus Jessica Eye, they took that fight away, all so they can fucking put together this main event. So the UFC's got a lot of culpability here, but they are a business, they're a company. For whatever fucking reason, they decided to do this, and that part don't make a lot of sense, right? Because now they are talking about, part of the reason it doesn't make a lot of sense is, for one, I mean, we didn't want to have Valentina versus Nico be a main event because it's a flyweight title fight, and neither one of them missed weight. So now we're having a flyweight title fight, and one of them could miss weight. Nothing on Sarge. It's just facts, right? When Darren Till fought for the title, he could have missed weight. It's just facts. It didn't happen. I don't think Sarge is going to miss weight, but you do have to wonder. And so, with that being said, now we have a flyweight main event, a bigger card. So that doesn't make a lot of sense from the UFC, but they are looking at a backup fighter. We saw that with Usman, right? They had Usman on standing by just in case. If Woodley or Till fell out, Usman would be there. They're talking about doing that with this fight. And the person they're talking about doing it with is Katlyn Chookagian. And I'm down with that. I would like, shit, honestly, if you're talking about a Madison Square Garden main event, instead of fucking canceling Eubanks versus Eye, why not just throw Chookagian in there? And she might, I don't know. Because she was one of the girls that did throw her name out there like, hey, I'll fight Valentina at 228. You know, I'll save the card. But maybe she was just saying that to look good, you know, because it was pointed out. She even though she said that, she knew it wasn't probably very realistic. But she did say it. And now the UFC's looking at her as a backup fighter. But look at this. I'm just saying, it would look a lot prettier. And I'm not even saying because of looks. But I'm saying because her record. She's 11-1, right? Shevchenko versus a girl that's 11-1 looks a lot better than Shenko versus a girl that's like 3-2 or arguably 4-2. That looks a lot better already just from the record. She's from fucking, she fights out of New Jersey, pretty close to Madison Square Garden, and she's ranked one higher than Eubanks. So shit, if Chookagian's gonna be ready to step in, why not just make her the main event? She's got a better record. That ain't Sarge's fault. Like I said, if the UFC calls you and says, hey, instead of fighting the ranked number 9 girl, you want to main event Madison Square Garden? Fuck yeah, are you kidding me? Now you have to look at the UFC. UFC, why didn't you choose Katlyn instead? You know what I'm saying? So it's not really Sarge's fault at all. Joanna, she had a signed date. She signed to fight Valentina, and the UFC kind of just takes the fucking fight. Ariel Helwani made some good points on this on Twitter. Let me pull those up. And I wanted to, Jessica I also, you know, her fight got taken away. So Jessica I had a signed date. UFC takes that fight, and I'm sure they might have compensated her. They might have, it might be in the contract, hey, your fight's scheduled to change, but it does seem kind of like, well, you guys gave me a fight date, right? If you're a fighter, that's how you pay your bills. Oh shit, guys, we're about to get paid on fucking, let's just use December the 3rd. We're about to get paid on December the 3rd, you guys. Everybody, we're in a training camp. Let's start paying our coaches and trainers. We're getting ready for a fight. And the UFC says, actually, sorry, ich stay on the training camp and the whole fight. We're going to go ahead and pull your opponent out so they can, you know, that's happened in the past. The UFC has to do that sometimes. When they need a main event, they need a main event. But Ariel Helwani says, ask Jessica I how she feels being considered, not being considered for the title fight and having the Eubanks fight taken away from her. She's, I'm pissed, I'm hurt, I'm offended, but I just left a killer practice. Jessica I's got a pretty funny sense of humor. She's pretty funny. Chookagian in the talks to be a backup fighter for the Shevchenko-Eubanks fight at 2:30. Should something happen to either fighter, per sources worth noting, she beat Eubanks in 2015. And that's another thing, right? That just adds, right? So she's got 11-1 record. She's got a prettier record. She's got a win over Eubanks. She's ranked higher than Eubanks. And she's going to be the backup fighter? I honestly don't even think you get half as much backlash if you put Katlyn Chookagian in instead of Eubanks. Right? You'll get a little bit people saying, now, it's a lose-lose for the UFC. And one thing people aren't pointing out, this is very progressive. Facts. The UFC's fucking choosing to give a girl that normally when you say, oh, the UFC's giving a girl an opportunity, it's because she's pretty. And if they would have gave the fight to Katlyn Chookagian, people would have said that, right? Oh, it's because she's blonde. It's because she's pretty. That's why she's getting the main event. That would have happened. But I don't think it would have been as much backlash because her record is better. She's 11-1. She's got a win over Sarge. She's ranked higher. And shit, she's going to be ready to fight. So I think Shevchenko versus Chookagian's way better for PR. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, as far as being progressive, shit, Sijara Eubanks, you can say don't deserve the fight, even though of course you expect her to take it. But she's a black, and she's a black female fighter, and I believe she might be homosexual. So the UFC being very progressive in that sense, right? A homosexual black female fighter in the main event of Madison Square Garden. That's pretty progressive. So as much as you want to poo-poo, at least you can at least look at the bright side for a second, right? For a quick second. And right, if they would have gave the fight to Chookagian, people would have complained. And so it is what it is. I think the UFC holds a majority of the fault here. I think they could have handled this better. I don't know. Oh, and you know another place you can even point blame before you even think to point blame at Sarge Eubanks, because some people are doing that. Jon Jones. He could have been on this card, guys. He was stalling the fight negotiations and shit, allegedly, with Gustafsson. Jones was cleared in time to fight. Jones is from New York. Jones has been showing us fucking training videos. Where's Jon Jones? Didn't snitch for nothing. I'm just kidding. No, that's a joke, but still. He got a 15-month reduction just in time for Madison Square Garden. He could have fought Gustafsson. He was talking. There was reports that came out he was stalling for pay-per-view points, and now it's looking like that fight will be at the end of the year. But shit, let's get Jon Jones in here, or let's fuck it, bring in the 165-pound title. Let's make Diaz vs. Poirier the main event. There's so many things. Let's put Chookagian in there. There's so many things the UFC could have probably done better here, and that we would have liked better as fans. And so, really, I mean, the majority of the fault, I think you kind of got to look at the UFC. But before we move on, that's my spiel, man. I wanted to talk about the whole main event debacle, man. I feel like maybe the UFC could have played it better. You know, there's a lot of places you can look. Joanna, why didn't you take the fight? Jon Jones, why aren't you on the card? Valentina, why did you accept this fight? Sarge, why did you accept this? What the fuck? Why did I accept the fight? Are you fucking stupid? Because it's my job, for one, and for two, it's a huge opportunity. You know, there's a lot of places people are looking, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. This is where we're at now. Bankrupt. We hit bankrupt. Let's go. So yeah, man. With all that being said, that whole spiel, and Jessica Eye, she's a girl. I mean, 13-6. Part of the reason people are pissed off is because that 3-2 record from Sarge. That's why I said Chookagian's 11-1. Even Jessica Eye's 13-6 looks better, but Jessica Eye's ranked number 9. So Sarge honestly makes more sense than Jessica Eye at this point. Jessica Eye is undefeated at 125, but just not yet. You know what I'm saying? Jessica Eye don't really got too much of a shot to the title. Nowhere near the claim of Chookagian or even Sijara Eubanks. So with that being said, also a few more things to talk about, but let's pull up the chat first. Because I know I've been talking for a while. Boys, Audio in the building. John Doe in the building. Coco Butt, what's going on? Stamina knows a lot, says Coco Butt. Oh, yeah, Stamina MC is the motherfucking Don. They are a business. It's precisely why the UFC fucked up. They provided a product for people that nobody fucking wants. It's the most backwards thing ever. I agree with you, Stamina. And I heard you on Coach's show, too. You made a lot of great points. So did Coach. So that's... you know, like, I was ready to talk about this even like before I heard, but I'm glad I listened to you guys' conversation before, because it even gave me more perspectives and shit. And so, but yeah, Stamina, he's definitely knows what he's talking about. And as far as like the UFC, like I do agree with Stamina's point that the UFC kind of fucked this up in multiple ways, you know. But as fans, you know, there's a lot of ways you can look, and I think what's going on is we're all kind of like just like trying to figure out what the fuck just happened here, right? Like, and so we're just grasping at straws. Like, is it your fault? Is it your fault? Why are we here? But yeah, I definitely think, can we talk about? I definitely agree. Dylan, given your name says, can we talk about Dylan Dana saying he's a better version of Khabib? I fucking saw that. I haven't saw the video yet. I saw the YouTube headline, but Dylan Danis reminds me a lot of Colby Covington in a sense of the shit he says half the times is ridiculous, but I don't know if he believes it or not. I don't know. I don't know if Dylan Danis believes it or not. I don't think he does. I think Dylan Danis is a really good troll. I really do. Because, boy, half the shit he said, like, I don't know, like, maybe he believes. I don't know, man. I really don't know, because I don't know Dylan Danis. He might believe all this shit, dog, but oh, Jon Jones, you don't want to see me on the mat. Like, Dylan, he's been at it with everybody. But, yeah, I saw that headline. I haven't saw the video yet. Jorge says, Team Sijara, Sergeant Slaughter Eubanks. Let's fucking go. Yeah, man, Sijara Eubanks, huge opportunity here. I think she probably gets TKO'd, but, I mean, it's a huge opportunity for her, and I don't think she holds any blame. That's one person that I don't see there. You know, she's in the same position as Darren Till, right? Like, what do you expect? Darren Till to say no? He said himself, yeah, I probably don't deserve this fight. Yeah, fuck it, I'll clear out the division. But when the UFC calls you and says, hey, bud, you want a title shot, do you expect the fighter to say no? You expect Sarge to say no to this? Sorry, guys, I really want to fight Jessica Eye. Fuck Madison Square Garden. Fuck you guys, too. Like, you don't say no to the UFC when they offer you such a huge opportunity. That's career fucking suicide. Sean Jordan says, we want Nate to get paid and see him fight 5 rounds. I agree with that, too. The UFC, and that's something you look at the UFC. You could have made that fight 5 rounds. You couldn't. It don't even got to be for a fucking title. Make it a main event. What is it, like some sacred rule? You can't put a non-title fight over a title fight? Is that like what it is? Is that like in the UFC rule book? Thou shalt not put fucking non-title fight over title fight? I don't know. Spider said he can go 180. That's not even if they added new divisions. Now that would have to be a catchweight. McGregor versus Khabib. I mean, not McGregor versus Khabib. McGregor versus Silva. I'm not gonna lie. That fight for me, I like that fight a lot more than, honestly, as a style matchup, right? Like, I love the idea of McGregor versus Khabib. Great style matchup. Both of them are each other's kryptonite. Even do you think about GSP versus McGregor? Love it. But as a fan, open weight type shit, McGregor versus Anderson Silva in their prime is probably is one of the fights I would like to see most. Like a fantasy fight, and maybe they could fight it at 180 like sometime soon. I mean, but Silva's a little older, but maybe that makes up for the size advantage. If that fight could happen, oh my god, I would. I haven't even ever really thought about that fight as a possibility. But the fact that McGregor called him out and Silva kind of responded and said he was open to it, I want to see that fight probably more than any other fight. Now, of course, it's one of those ones, and it probably is not even possible because they weren't in their prime at the same time. But if you could like put together a fantasy fight, like, so I think someone asked me this question before, any fighter in their prime of any time versus another fighter, Anderson Silva, prime Anderson Silva versus prime Conor McGregor is probably an all-time great fantasy fight. I can't think of a more better matchup. Like, it would be so fucking fun. I think that shit would be awesome. Now, at this day and age where Anderson Silva's at, I don't know. I would still like to see the fight, right? Because he's got the size. I don't know. I love that fight. I think Silva versus McGregor is, even if it's just talk, I absolutely fucking love that fight. Coco Buck says Volkov should sing Russian national anthem before his fight. R.I.P. Nikolai Volkov. Man, that fight, it's so crazy, dog, because, like, as far as being a fight fan and a hardcore fan, I really feel like Volkov should be a bigger favorite. I think he's got a good chance to win the fight, but I'm always rooting for Derek Lewis. Plus, it's heavyweight. Plus, what if his back looks good? Like, I'm way more interested in that fight than I probably should be, right? Only Derek Lewis can come off one of the most boring fights ever, and still you want to see his next fight. Can't get proper 12 in the UK. Oh shit, I only got about 30 more minutes, guys. Actually, that's good. It's good timing. We only got a few more things to talk about, and then I'm going to be going back live again for the press conference. But speaking of proper 12, I got to go get me a fucking bottle of that for the fight companion, and maybe we bust it open during the press conference. And then also, I got to go fucking, my debit card expired. So I got to go do that shit today too before my girl goes to work. So a few more things to talk about, and we'll get out of here and we'll be back live today. Wow, that really sucks. There's proper 12 at a store right by my house. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be sold out where I'm at either. Y'all motherfuckers are either killing that shit or y'all didn't order enough. y'all probably didn't order enough. I haven't, but no, it's not just you guys. There's other people for sure. There's other people I've saw, like, they showed me, like, one of their homies was going to order like 4 bottles for the fights, and they sent them all emails like, guys, we're out of stock. Sorry, your fucking fight night's ruined. You better order some Jameson. Ooh, fuck the Jameson, bro. Like, what do you do? Because I don't even think you can mail that shit, right? I don't think you can mail alcohol. I would assume you can't. But, like, I don't, you know how people scalp tickets? Can you, like, scalp proper 12? Like, buy all the bottles and sell that shit bootleg? I know there's the bootleg you can go to after hours and pay double price. But, like, I wonder if there's people doing that shit. Y'all might need to hit up a Facebook group. Y'all might be able to find it for double. They're going to be charging you like $150 for a $25 proper 12 just so you can watch it for the fights. Oh shit. I don't drink liquor, but just curious if they got it. Says given share name. I haven't looked for the proper 12 yet. Excuses coming after he loses. Says MMA Addict. Connor Lodge, is there a McGee press conference today? Yeah, there's a McGregor Khabib press conference today. It comes on at 6 p.m. Eastern, I believe. Proper 12 sold out in LA. Driving to a mom and pop shop in the valley right now that saved me a couple bottles. Proper 12. Let's go. Salute to Jorge One, my motherfucking dog. Salute to the whole full-time family. Israel Agit dog. Stamina MC in the building. You can mail alcohol sometimes. the scalping thing is usually illegal though. Yeah, I think that probably should. It's illegal to scalp tickets too, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's probably illegal to do that, but I'm just saying, right? Like, well, because it's not illegal to like scalp a fucking toy. I used to work at Target way back in the day, like in the morning unload crew, and there would be people that lined up outside the store, and I was like, what the fuck are these losers doing? They would come in there and buy like all the fucking some certain Hot Wheel, or there was some, before fidget spinners, there was some other toy craze. They would line up and buy all of those so they could resell them or something. All the My Little fucking Pony thing. Like, these motherfuckers come in at 6 a.m. so they can buy the whole stock of this toy. They're probably about to go resell that shit on eBay. I don't think that's illegal, but maybe with alcohol it probably is, maybe. But yeah. It's only illegal if you get caught. That's pyrotechnics, right? No cop, no stop. Jorge one says in the U.S. you can't send booze state to state. Okay, so yeah, probably, and it depends on where you're at. Delete. Yo, is it an H? Yo, that's funny. Give his share name says Conor won't show up for 4 hours. I think there was a bet, right? He showed up a little late, and I saw someone posted on Twitter. It was like props, and it was like, how late will Tony McGregor shows up? Will he be 15 to 30 minutes late, 30 to 45, or 30 to 55 minutes late, or over an hour? I think you can actually bet on how late will McGregor be, or on time. That's so fucking epic. All right, guys, let's talk about a few last topics before we get out of here, and we'll be back for the press conference. Anthony Pettis not impressed by Tony Ferguson's record. Who has he fought? Well, I can just give you a few off the motherfucking top. Most recently, Kevin Lee. He's fought Edson Barboza, right? He's fought fucking Rafael Dos Anjos. And boy, did he fucking look phenomenal against RDA, right? And didn't RDA fuck Pettis up? Am I tripping? Who has he fought? Hold on, let's pull this up. Dog, he fought RDA, Edson Barboza. He's fought, Tony Ferguson's fought some guys. Hold on. So yeah, you lost to Barboza, and you lost to RDA, right? Who has he fought? Well, he fucked up two of the guys that fucked you up, right? Barboza, Rafael Dos Anjos. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, I kind of see, because the Lando Venata, that was short notice. He was supposed to fight Khabib on that day. Josh Thompson, pretty impressive. Only guy to ever finish Nate Diaz, right? Layson Tebow, post USADA, still a very experienced opponent. Abel Trujillo submitted that guy. Very good wrestler in Danny Castillo, split decision. I mean, he has not just fought complete scrubs. And oh, by the way, for Anthony Pettis to question who he's fought, dog, he put the work on motherfucking RDA in Mexico City, motherfucking doing the salsa. What? Yo, I'm about to turn into the biggest motherfucker. I'm about to put Tony Ferguson on my outro, yo. That's about to be my outro. The reason I kind of got McGregor, part of the reason is for, like, the casuals, right? But YouTube changed. We don't get out there to the casuals no more as much. So I'm about to put my dog Tony Ferguson. Bye, Felicia. That's one of my favorite moments of all time. And it's a great outro, right? Tony Ferguson is my dog, man. And I kind of always embrace the weirdos, kind of, gravitate toward the underdog, and for some reason I feel like that's a bad idea. Like, natural contrarian, but I fuck with Tony Ferguson, and so I gotta ask Showtime, Anthony Pettis, what the fuck are you talking about? Who has Tony Ferguson fought? Kevin Lee's pretty fucking good, very well rounded. People don't like Kevin Lee because the shit he says, his cringy trash talk, but when you look at his fucking fighting, you can't deny it. Yeah, he's been rocked. But this motherfucker is very well-rounded, and the way he transitions between using his striking to set up his wrestling, to set up his jiu-jitsu, there's not many people that do it better than Kevin Lee, man. He will literally set up a very well-timed takedown with his strikes, and once he gets you down, he doesn't just hold you there. He'll fucking put that body lock on you and rear naked choke your ass. Kevin Lee is fucking dangerous. Tony Ferguson beat that guy. Rafael Dos Anjos, who beat Pettis. Barboza, who beat Pettis. So what are you really talking about? Who has he fought? He said, who has he fought? Who did he win the belt against? Kevin Lee. And who did Khabib win the belt against? Iaquinta. I get it. It ain't Khabib chose to fight Iaquinta. It was because multiple opponents fell out. Khabib would have fought anybody on that night. But I'm just saying, who did he win the belt against? He won the belt against number 10, number 11 motherfucking Iaquinta. Even Khabib, who did he win the belt against? So we're in a weird spot. Look at the last 10 fights. There's some great wins, but again, he hasn't fought the best in the division yet. And that's why we have a holy trinity at the top. Who's the champion? Do you say Conor McGregor? His only fight at lightweight was Eddie Alvarez, but he knocked him out. And if you say Khabib, to win the belt, he beat Iaquinta. And then if you say Ferguson, well, he beat Kevin Lee, and he was only the interim champion. So between those three dudes, man, it's really hard to say who's the rightful champion. It's really hard to say. But as far as who has he fought, it's not even about who did he win the belt against, because for one, Kevin Lee's very good. We just saw what he did to Barboza, by the way. But also for two, before that, who did he fight? Shit, you know what I'm saying? He's fought, Tony Ferguson's fought some tough guys and some guys that have beat Pettis. So Darren Till announcing a move up to middleweight. Forward out of here. He says, all right, I'm out, family. Super hyped for the pressure. Yo, press conference going to be lit. Take care, Forward. Coco Butt says, the whiskey throwing during press conference. Any whiskey throwing? I'll probably be throwing a couple shots back. I don't know if Conor's going to be throwing anything. I think there's going to be fans, though, so this is going to be pretty interesting. Casey Owen says, Kevin Lee does the chicken dance. Haha. Yeah, he has been rocked. Shit, Tony Ferguson's been rocked against Lando Venata. I don't know if you want to call it the chicken dance, but it was pretty much like the same thing. He got rocked, but he came back and won the fight. Like Tony Ferguson, it just didn't go as viral, right? There wasn't as many fucking the videos of Kevin Lee afterward. It was, I can just picture him now, him fucking wobbling and just the back and forth. But Tony Ferguson has done the chicken dance shit. You know what I'm saying? Like against Lando Venata, he was on skates. That's happened to a few fighters. They've been clipped. But as far as his skills, aside from getting clipped, maybe you can question his chin, but you can't question his well-roundedness. Kevin Lee's very fucking talented. Darren Till announces move up to middleweight. Okay, this is coming kind of out of nowhere. But you know what? I fucking love it. I fucking love this move. I mean, and part of the reason I believe has something to do maybe with discipline. He's talking about, man, fuck this diet, pretty much. I'll read it, but I love this, and I'll tell you why after I read what he had to say. I'm a big dude for welterweight, to be honest, so that's probably going to be my last fight at that weight. Welterweight isn't fully gone for me, but I'm going to be happy going up to middleweight now, and I'll be strong in that weight, not having to cut as much weight. It's not that I can't make the weight. I'm just a big lad, so I have to put on such a strict regimen and diet, being honest, and I don't like doing it. People might say he's not disciplined enough because I have to cut so much weight. I can only eat the bare minimum of food, and that's not how I want to be training. It's like, man, I'm fucking tired of training on no fuel because all I can eat is a fucking kale and a celery, you know what I'm saying? Some kale and a fucking drink a kale smoothie and eat a celery stick before training. I like to spar hard, motherfuckers. I need some meat. I can't be eating this baby back bagel biting bullshit. I'm trying to go in here and bang a motherfucker's head off in sparring. You know what I'm saying? That Darren Till, he spars hard. He ain't got time to be eating no motherfucking vegan diet and training camp. So he said, you know what? I'm gonna be trying to move up for a little while. I'm gonna go up to middleweight. Motherfucking fight Israel Adesanya. Let's go. That's why I want to see this move. That's why I love this shit. Motherfucking Darren Till versus Israel Adesanya is a motherfucking dream matchup for me. You want to talk about McGregor versus fucking Silva? Well, we got Darren Till versus Adesanya. Fuck it. Same weight. Adesanya's a small middleweight. Darren Till's a big welterweight. These motherfuckers could probably meet at 175 if we're being honest. If that division opened. Adesanya versus Till 175 title. Fuck it. Let's go. I want to see the fight. I want to see that fight. What about Till versus fucking Costa? Till at middleweight. And we don't have to worry about the fucking weight cut. We don't have to worry. Is he drained? Is he... Like, I absolutely love this move. Casey Owens says Till is too big. He has to go to middleweight. Yeah, you know, he'd have to just eat real skimpy. He don't want to do that shit right now. I think the middleweight division is so grappling heavy. He could be in for a tough go at the top 5. I mean, yeah, but you could say that about Adesanya. You can say that about Costa. You can say that about Gastelum. I mean, really, it's grappling heavy when you look at Weidman and Romero. So, yeah, there's going to be a couple bad matchups. But if the UFC doesn't fucking feed him to Weidman, I think he's fine. I think there's a lot of winnable fights for him up there. There's a lot of guys. Well, there's a lot of guys from middleweight going to 205, but there's great matchups, great fights to see. Like earlier, Adesanya, Costa, like, yeah, I don't want to see Till versus Weidman, right? I mean, if you're a Weidman fan, you might want to just see him expose Till's game grappling, and I don't think Till is trash with wrestling. I think he's got solid wrestling defense, but a middleweight All-American wrestler, good fucking luck. We saw Kelvin Gastelum. You either got to knock him out or you're going for a ride. That's facts. So yeah, he could have some bad matchups, but shit, so does Gastelum, and he's about to fight for a title. Adesanya versus Till, I would love to see that. Third Eye First says too early for that. Good one, Dan Cam Murphy. Dan K says, watch the face off. Chris S says, given full-time family work, decided to drop by and learn. Oh, what's going on, Chris? How's it going, brother? Till has many compelling matchups at middleweight. I agree. I fucking love this move. So many compelling matchups. And then you know what? Worst case scenario, if he does fucking lose twice, we're eating kale and we're drinking kale shakes. We're eating celery and motherfucking we're going vegan. We're going back to 170 if worst comes to worst. Or we're opening up 175 and maybe that's even better. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm intrigued to see how Till does at middleweight, says Leon Dubson. Me too, man. I like this move, definitely. And then, of course, we already talked about this a little bit. Silva versus McGregor. Anderson Silva responding to Conor McGregor. Got the picture from Pauly G. This Pauly G dude is a fucking beast. He's a savage. He makes a bunch of pictures like fantasy matchups and shit like that. And he made the thumbnail for McGregor versus Silva. Silva reposted it and he said, a bunch of shit in Brazilian. Can't understand it. It would be an honor to test myself with Conor McGregor. He's an unorthodox fighter and has proven he must be respected. Let's make it happen. The UFC wants super fights. I'm sure fans from all over the world want to see this fight. Professionally, I believe it would be incredible to test my martial arts abilities with a fighter like Conor McGregor in a true super fight. He's focused on fighting Khabib Nurmagomedov now, but after this fight, I'm ready for this challenge. Winning where he wants. Pretty much he's saying, I'm down for Red Penny Night. Fuck you talking about? What you talking about? And he's smaller, like, yo, this is an amazing fight for one, you know? If Silva would have called for this fight, it would have looked completely batshit crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Silva came out of nowhere, hey, throw my name in the hat to fight McGregor, right? Like, what? You want to fight a fucking Silva, what? Silva, why do you want to fight a lightweight, right? But Conor McGregor called for this shit, so Silva's like, hey, my girlfriend got red panties too. Shit, we can break them out. Just say no more. Conor, as a matter of fact, Conor, say less. Focus on Khabib. Win or lose, call me up. I'm down. I want to see it. Dark Cloud 6112's messages getting deleted by Jorge 1. They ain't fucking around. Jabba the Hutt. Jorge 1 smacking you with the motherfucking wrenches. Test myself. LMAO. He would absolutely mollywop McNugget. Silva ain't gonna shut up about this fight now. I don't understand necessarily why those messages got deleted. My guy Jorge 1. Yeah, I don't know why those messages got deleted. Did they say something earlier? Yeah, I mean yeah, I don't know. Jorge, maybe it was a pocket ban. Test myself. He would absolutely mollywop McNugget. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know why. Shit, I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe that was a pocket ban. I don't know why you guys. Was that deleted? I hope you guys didn't get like timed out. That would, or all the way reported. That would be crazy. I'm not sure. Sometimes moderators get pocket banned and shit. Be pocket banning people. We got a lot of moderators, so I'm not sure what that was. I knock out sometimes. I choke. Hey, Jorge 1 though. What's going on? I don't know either. What was that, Jorge? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not what the fuck sure. Stench of the wrench. They didn't even say nothing crazy. That's what I be saying, y'all. You know, mods like. Sometimes motherfuckers be getting banned randomly and shit. Pocket ban law had to be. Yeah, I think that probably was because he ain't even talking in the chat. I don't even think he can hear us right now. You know how you pocket dial people and you just listen to their conversation? That's probably Jorge right now. Like, he don't even know he just banned 2 people. He don't even know we're talking about it. He's probably about to ban somebody else. He said, I didn't delete shit today. Yeah, it just said you banned Dark Cloud and Jabba the Hutt. That's pretty funny. Oh, but you did, says Stamina. Yo, pocket bans are the funniest. All right, we might have one more thing to talk about. Oh, just no, we already talked about. Oh, Dana White explaining the whole thing, you know, and Dana White said you want to, you know, turn down the fight pretty much, but I don't. This is the thing. Joanna has a really good relationship with the UFC. I don't, but maybe maybe they're over Joanna. You know what I'm saying? Because she got a very real possibility to lose this fight. If the UFC's not trying to give her proper time to train for this fight, clearly they don't care about her going 0-3. Shit, the fact they booked this fight. But it's always seemed like Joanna had a really good relationship with the UFC. And so she's coming out also and she's saying like she's shocked and all of this, like it's kind of fucked up. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? She turned down the fight, and for whatever reason, she wanted proper time. And that is one thing. She's on a 2-fight losing streak. Maybe she has to be careful. But Dana White coming out and explaining it. Sijara Eubanks responding on Twitter. We talked a little bit about that. Fans are salty. I don't think she's handling it the best on Twitter. We talked about that. So that's pretty much the show, you guys, today. We'll end it with a few songs. You know what I'm saying? UFC Yankovic. We'll play McGregor versus Khabib, and we'll play Diaz versus Poirier. But we'll be back 5 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll probably go live a little bit before the press conference. We'll probably go live at like 5:30 Eastern. And we're going to go live, and I'm going to be just fucking watching the press conference with you guys. Got to watch that shit. It's going to be epic. So let's go. With that being said, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Let me pull up UFC Yankovic. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe. Once we get it to 1,000 subscribers, it's going to be a motherfucking party. And once I pay back this payday loan, we're doing a motherfucking giveaway, full-time family. And I've been working. So as soon as these checks start coming in, we're about to be doing a giveaway soon. I wanted to make a free O'Malley shirt, but I'm not graphically designed enough, and I don't even know if that's legal. Like, right? I don't even know. I should be. I'm not using his likeness, and I don't think he would care, honestly, if I made a free O'Malley shirt. But I was thinking about doing that. Like, maybe doing a giveaway or something. What was I looking for? UFC Yankovic. UFC Yankovic. There it is. All right. I know. Oh, whoa, Tony Ferguson. That's what we gotta play. Motherfucking salute to Stockton slaps. I knock out sometimes I choke. We're gonna play UFC 229. Fuck the Tupac Hit 'Em Up remix. We're gonna play God's Plan and McGregor vs. Khabib, guys. And then we'll be back for the press conference. Let's go. I knock out sometimes I choke.
Yeah, they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wishing on me. It's Tony time, bitch, I don't care who's fucking with me. Staying away from tiramisu's a struggle for Khabib. You don't wanna fight, you wanna cuddle with me. My elbows are knives and I'ma cut you with these. I don't really give a fuck who's with me. If this fat fuck will make weights a big mystery. If you were smart, then you would probably pick me. To submit Khabib at UFC 223. To submit Pettis at UFC 229. Tony time. Tony time. I knock out, sometimes I choke. I might be the lightweight GOAT. If my leg didn't get broke, would've probably beat Khabib. Then moved up and fought with Lee. Either wait for GSP. You don't wanna mess with me. Tony time. Tony time. I knock out, sometimes I choke. I might be the lightweight GOAT. If my leg didn't get broke, would've probably beat Khabib at UFC 223. Then moved up and fought with Lee. Either way for GSP.
Or is this full-time MMA now?
I love full-time MMA right now.
They call me Conor McGregor, there's no one better. I'ma fuck Khabib up, then go rematch Floyd Money Mayweather. If this dog shit Dagestani thinks he can stand with me, I'll damage him and leave him panicking. Let Russia know I am the king. I don't like you, won't even pretend to try to. I've waited this long to fight you. You shouldn't have fucked with my crew. You ambush Artem Lobov in the hotel lobby, so we went and called gang. Now I'm coked up off of Molly, now I'm coming to the stage. So I think that you should probably stay the fuck up out my way. Somebody get me a dolly. Yo, Conor McGregor, what the fuck is wrong with you? Come here, let me smash you like chicken, just let me humble you. You take all these drugs, but you won't take home a W. If we fight in UFC or if we fight with guns and crews. No, let me stop it, you don't want me to take it there. If you want, you can take a bear, send location, and I'll be there.